Hey guys, welcome back. I got a new weekly tweak, I should call it. As you know, I'm always playing around with ideas on these grids. Not completely breaking the grids apart, maintaining the factors, but at the same time, trying to find other elements in the slew of elements that you could use in horse racing, and being able to tie it into the grid and add it into the grid so that it factors into our actual ratings over here. And what I'm playing around with now is a race rating. Okay, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing here to determine this race rating, and it's pretty simple. Okay, I'm sure there are a lot of different ways. I know guys in the Discord played around with race ratings, but again, my goal here is simplicity. What I don't want to do is turn a 7 or 8 minute process of handicapping a 7 horse race into a 20-minute process, because one particular factor takes an extended amount of time to compute or figure out or calculate, because there's so many elements that go in. So is this the best way to determine a race rating? I'm not saying it is, but what I'm saying is it just fits the grid. Okay, and here's what here's what we're doing. Okay, these latest grids, as I'm sure you guys are all aware, that those of you that have been following the videos, are tying the target rating now from the matrix system. They're tying the target rating into the grids themselves. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a calculation based off of the target rating to come up with the race rating. And I'll show you exactly what I'm doing. So let me do a split screen here real fast. And I'm going to make this a little larger in case it's hard to see. But these are the columns we're focusing on right now. TR, mainly RR, race rating. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking, for example, let's start with the top here because I want to show you one. I have a 79 as a target rating for the 1 horse, okay? And we just got the target rating off of the 108 standard, okay? A 112 and 1 is 21 ticks. 21 from 100 is a 79. That was his target rating. Well, what I'm doing is I'm adjusting based on the actual winner, okay? In this case, the 1 horse won the race. So I just got done this one. So his target rating is actually a 79 as well. Okay, we have a 21, 79, and he won the race. So that race rating is a 79. So what I'm doing here is we're basing the race rating off of the final speed, final time that the winner ran the race in. Simple as that. Now, you can make an adjustment to that if it's dropping in class. You guys can use your own judgment on that if the horse is making a drop in class. But that's where it becomes very subjective. Subjectivity comes in now, because what do? Do you add 1 point? Do you add 2 points? Or whatever. Now, let's take a look at the 2 horse. The 2 horse now, I had to base it off of the 102 for a 5.5 furlong. 102 is the standard. And I know this is where things get thrown off. These are the intangibles. I could have went all the way down here and used this 6 furlong race. I didn't. I'm just curious to see if I did. Maybe I'll do that here while we wait. We're going to actually watch this race live to see how it turns out. But using a 102 standard, a 106 and 2 is 22 ticks off of there, which is a 78 from a 22 from 100, 78. So that's why his target rating is a 70, 22. What's going on here? Why? I never make these mistakes. Am I looking at the right race? I assume I am. Anyways, his target, unless I used the, oh, you know what? I used 2 races back. I'm sorry. That's why. It's a 79. I used 2 races back, so that would be a 79 for his target rating. But then the actual winner, if you look, he was 2 lengths out of the finish. So the actual winner was an 81. Okay, because remember, we go 1 tick is 1 point to the ratings. So that race rating would be an 81. Okay, if you look down here at the 3 horses a scratch, the 4 horse, I'm assuming we use the race 2 back, -5. Yeah, right here. Off of 108, a 111 and 4 is an 81. So his target rating was an 81. But the winner was 4 lengths ahead of him. So we have to add 4 points. The race rating for that race is an 85. And so on. Okay? So all we're doing is we're taking the target rating. And then we're finding the finish. And we're adding 1 point per every length that the leader was in front. Okay, so that's how the race rating is. I back tested this a little bit last night on some races from the weekend, and it seemed to be I didn't have the grids created, so I had to like kind of throw a new column in, and so it wasn't as cut and dry as it is right now. But it kind of opened my eyes a little bit this weekend. So what I did was I'm playing around with Mountaineer tonight. And I started in race 4. And race 4, if you notice the 6 horse here, oh, that's the other thing. The race rating is tied into the overall category, okay? So the overall, instead of just averaging all of these categories here, plus the target rating, it's now averaging all the categories, plus the target rating, plus the race rating, okay? So the race rating itself is actually averaging over here. And as you can see, it will make a difference. If you look at this 6 horse, for example, 79.53, and he's the top. If I were to take these ratings out, he now gets bumped down to a 78.89, okay? And I know that's not much of a difference, but it does put the 7 ahead of him. Let me put that back in. But as you can see, not that you could see, but it factors into a lot of these, all the horses, okay? So let me take them out again, and we'll take a look at the 1 horse, what it does to the 1. Okay, the 1 horse stayed right where it was because the target rating was the same as the race rating, okay? But let me see, I think the 6 horse is the only one that really did anything too in that race. But it's going to make a difference, okay? But why is it going to make a difference? It's going to make a difference because you might have a horse with a target rating of, let's say, a 74.5, and I'm just going to make up hypothetical figures here, which may have given him a race rating that was kind of, an overall average or rating that was subpar. But then all of a sudden, that might have been the leader might have been, the winner might have been 11 lengths ahead of that horse. So let's say, for example, now 11 lengths ahead, that would be an 85.5. And what it's going to do, it just shot that target rating up from a 74 or whatever it was to what it is now. So it's going to make a difference over here in this category. But at the same time, it's not taken away from any of these other ratings when you evaluate your grid, as far as your early contenders, strengths and weaknesses, and then the middle and late portions of the race. All it's doing is it's affecting one particular category. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look, by the way, that 6 horse won that race at 12-1. Okay, he was a 12-1 winner. And the 5th race here, though it was chalky, he was the heavy favorite. The 5 horse won that race as well. Okay, and in fact, it came out 5-2-7, 5-2-7 or 5. I think it was 5. Yeah, 5-2-7-6 was the finish of that race. Now we're going to take a look at this race. There's a scratch in here. There's only 6 horses running, and we pull it up. We have 2 minutes. The 4 horse has taken favoritism. When I looked before, it was I think the 7 horse or the 6 horse was the favorite. But the 4 horse is indeed our tops in this category. And the race rating is not going to make a difference because he was still, I already looked at this, he still would have been tops in that category as well if I were to take out the race rating. The rankings would have been the same. So it's really not a great race to really get an idea of the race rating because the ratings are going to be the same. But at the same time, we can still take a look and see what happens in this race while I have you here. And I'm going to continue to use these grids with the race rating in them. And if you're interested, throw your comment in the category, and I will throw this on the download page. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to clutter the tabs down here with grids that people aren't going to use. You might be locked into one particular grid that you use now, and now I'm throwing a new factor in at you, and now you have to kind of learn how to tie that factor in. Again, not that it's that difficult, but if anybody's interested, I will throw them in, and you could throw in your race ratings and see what it does to your success rate. All right, so I'm going to pause until it's time to go. But this is my order right now. I got 4 as an A, 6, 7, and then a 1. So 4 to me would be a good single looking at this race. Maybe, maybe not. But at the same time, the 4 is getting the 4 is getting its points mainly from the middle and late part of the race. Okay, so I do not expect the 4 to be on the lead. Okay, he does come up in the as tops in the early B category, but he doesn't look like he dominates the early categories. But who knows? If he does get in front, and he also shows that he has the best late kick and best turn, then he's a hell of a horse. But we'll see what happens here.
Castillo Varanil with
All right,
Charlie
guys,
Oliveros.
here we go. We're looking at the 4 as the top play, and the 7 as the value play here.
They're off and racing, and it was a poor start for Little Vaquero. Castillo Varanil on the outside began quickly, so too El Cardinal, followed by Alabama Slammer Southern Sense. On the inside is Kate Swoosh, and 15 lengths to Little Vaquero. So it's Castillo Varanil, the leader, but now joined on the rail by El Cardinal. They're 2.5 in front of Southern Sense on the inside of Alabama Slammer. 4.5 lengths to Kate Swoosh.
Right, so now let's see
and
if
a
that
good
4
10 or
has that
12
turn.
lengths to Little Vaquero. The leader
turn
is El
strength and
Cardinal
finish.
at 5-1. Now gets 2 lengths in front. Castillo Varanil apparently has the cue in the rack, past 3 wide by Alabama Slammer and by Southern Sense on the inside. 5 lengths farther back to Kate Swoosh, and still well back then is Little Vaquero. At the top of the stretch, it's El Cardinal, the leader. Rails open for Southern Sense, and through he comes. Southern Sense is now ranged up to draw level with El Cardinal. Down the outside, next is Alabama Slammer, working home nicely. It's Southern Sense in front of El Cardinal and Alabama Slammer. Southern Sense in front of Alabama Slammer. Southern Sense by a length and a quarter to Alabama Slammer. Third home was El Cardinal, and fourth Castillo Varanil.
So we'll take a look real quick.
Running time was
I played a
110.54.
short try. I didn't use the 2. Was it 4.62 or 4.26? I think it was 4.62. Right?
And the winner, number 4, Southern Sense, ridden by Augustine Bracho.
I did hit the try. It ain't going to pay much. And I put a 5 spot on the 7.
Even money favorite.
But we go back to the grids.
Second, number 6, Alabama.
And we'll see where we came from here. It was 4.6. I did not have the 2 in there on the grid as a ranking, but I did have the 2 because I played all in the third leg of that try. But again, the 4-horse heavy favorite. But at the same time, I don't know if that was the best example to give. As I showed you, that the overall rating really didn't change when I took out the race rating. But really my goal was to just introduce this race rating to you and how I'm using it and how I'm computing it, where it's not adding too much to the handicap in time. So if you guys have any questions or comments about it, shoot them, throw them in the comments, put them in the Discord, email me, thoroughcapping@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you. All right, talk to you soon.